Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.21 Modpack, and today we are actually going to be getting into kind of messing around with some mods. Not really going and using these. We're going to tear them down after we're done, but I want to use this as kind of a tutorial-esque or kind of just look at and then move on type of situation. So today we are going to be looking at Industrial Foregoing's resource production pieces. And I will have to remember some of how to do this, but I think for the most part I do remember a lot of it. So the ore laser base. This is actually one of the more interesting pieces of Industrial Foregoing, because all you really need to do is you just need to get some laser drills put around this, just like so. Oop. And maybe a couple more. I don't want to place them like that. Okay. And of course we want to throw some add-ons in here. Certain add-ons. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Processing. Did they change this? So I can only throw speed in there now? Interesting. Okay, I'll throw speed upgrade in there. Oh, it's only efficiency, not speed. I can't read, apparently. Alright, and then the rest of these can get some upgrades. Alright, and then all we need to do now is just get some power cables. And I think we'll just combine these so they can actually all connect into at least one ender gate. Shouldn't be a problem. And I can't recall if this needs bedrock anymore. It looks like it does not. Okay, perfect. And do more efficiency add-ons actually change this? I don't think so. Okay. But this is how you would generate ores with Industrial Foregoing. You can specify using lenses to get more specific types of ores, and each one of these actually increases the chance at which you can get these kind of ores. For example, white, this would allow for us to get nether quartz, but this can only be used in the nether. Of course, you could just look. Orange is copper, check the biomes, dimensions, anything of that sort. And of course, there is a blacklist, so this wouldn't work in the end, but it would work in the nether or the actual overworld, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, and then of course depth, but as you can see, we're actually full on this, so let's actually grab a chest. And we'll just output, push, okay, and that'll work. We actually may want to grab a pipe or something here, just to make this a little bit faster. This is the exact same thing you can do with the fluid laser base as well. So you could actually make this pull lava or any other fluids that are in its configuration list and allow for them to be piped out or pushed somewhere, anything of that sort. So it's really cool. But right now we've just got it set basically to just pull any ore. Doesn't really matter. We're not too picky. Okay? So the next portion of this, and we can actually fix the floor real quick, is getting the fermentation station down. Okay? So the fermentation station is going to be one of... I think this is actually the middle portion. Hold on. And we can verify this by looking at this. So we do need to get the washing factory down first. So the washing factory is the correct one. So washing factory, fermentation station, then fluid sieving machine. And then the material stoneworks factory we're going to place back here. Okay, and we'll get to why we need that in a second. Or any type of sand generation. It's what we'll need. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take just raw ore. We're going to just take from our system for now. And we're going to grab 40 pieces of this. So with this, you're basically going to want to... power this stuff, of course. But put in 40 of this, and then we're going to need the entangleporter here to actually get liquid meat. We may need it actually out of our system. Do I have a conduit or anything nearby? I do. We're just going to snag this. And of course, this is temporary, remember? So we're not going to be, like, keeping this. So we'll just run this kind of ugly. But that'll be fine. Okay. And we can get an interface. And we can say meat. We want the liquid meat. And we'll say 16 buckets. Nope, I can only do 4. Okay. 4 buckets. And then on the back here, we're going to pull liquid meat. Okay. Throw our add-ons in here. And then on this, you can see that we can change our production. So, of course, each one of these has the different time and potentially a catalyst. So 5 seconds to 2 times it, 3 times it is 45 seconds, and 4 times is 120 seconds with pink slime, and then ether gas for the very last one. So, for this example, I believe we actually have ether gas in the system, right? That's correct? Cool. We'll grab one more interface. And we'll just do this 5 times. So, ether gas. Four buckets, that sounds good. And then on the back, we're going to say catalyst. We're going to pull. And then with that 40 pieces of ore, which I specifically put in here because we do need to do this, we're going to output to the left. And so when this is full, we are then going to let this process, which this should be full. Yes. But this is going to take a long time. Even with all the upgrades we've just put in here, this is going to take a hot minute. And I actually don't know how much catalyst this uses when it actually operates. But getting something like Industrial Foregoing Souls over here would increase your actual amount that you could do with this. So let's actually do that real quick. I think we could tap into... And we could do... At Souls, grab a Soul Surge. Perfect. And that will increase the speed at which this operates. So you can see, of course, we have 20,000 millibuckets in here. And then now we can just say output to the left. And you'll see that we do need sand. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this to do sand. So we're going to say crush, crush, and then nothing, nothing. Put our upgrades in here. And then put water and lava. Not in that order. And that'll get us sand. And then on the back, we're going to say push. And that'll start filling this up. Okay? And that'll start sieving it. And then, of course, you just throw your iron dust in the furnace. It's actually really cool. So if you ever wanted to go this process, yes, it requires ether gas, so it's going to be, like, well, the 5 times it requires ether gas. So it's going to be a lot to just get into the higher tier. But for an early game, this is not awful, right? If you didn't have occultism and you didn't want to get into mechanism, this is a really good alternative. In my opinion, right? Definitely a good thing. Definitely, definitely. And then, of course, we could grab a furnace just because we may as well finish this up while we're here. And just plop this down. And we could say iron furnaces. We need to grab an augment real quick. So we could say blasting. We could say factory. And we could say speed. Just because we can. And then on the right, we're going to input. And then let's just say on the left, we output. Get a power cable. And we're off to the races. Cool. At sophisticated storage. Had to remember what mod I was thinking of for a second. Let's get a barrel. You'd want to send it back into your system, of course. But for right now, we'll just do that. And you'll see that we've actually already almost processed all of our fluid. And the reason that is because we've actually sent in 40. And it looked like actually we could send in 20, and that's actually good enough now. But I want to double check that. So we're going to send in 20. And this will not run until we're full, by the way, which is what I've done here, the seal when full. It's on by default. I don't ever touch that half the time, just because doing it when it's full will process all of it. And then when it processes all of it, it will then send it over here, the full amount, and then send it over here. So you could tweak around with whatever you want to do, and it does look like it is 40 still. Okay, so we'll throw in another 20. So you basically want to also filter, either using you want to still be able to only send 40 items in here, no more, no less, because basically once this gets 40, it'll then throw in here, and then throw in here, right? So just keep that in mind. 40 needs to go in here to actually be able to fill this, and then from there, you then get the 5 times, and then goes in here. Okay? Some pretty good stuff. And not too complicated. And of course, you could set up multiple of these, especially if you get liquid meat, which is just killing hostile mobs. You want to just kill a whole bunch of hostile mobs rather than passive mobs, and you'll be golden. And actually, I don't remember if I mentioned this. I do actually have that set up now in one of these farms. I do have the hostile mobs. It's not in this one. What? Let's look for the other one here. I think is this one then. Yes. So I've got piglin brutes, and currently it looks like they're stuck in the air. So I actually do need to grab one more mob slaughter factory real quick. I forgot to account for this. Let me get that done real fast and I'll fix this. But yeah, hostile mobs get you more liquid meat. Alright, I fixed that real quick. But yes, get a decent pink slime and meat production area and you'll be golden. And that is beautiful. So that is how we are able to support this. And of course, this is easier than getting sulfuric acid or any of the numerous chemicals you would need to do anything with mechanisms, higher tier processing. Yes, mechanism will get you, I believe, 6 times. This is 5 times, so it's not as good, but it is cheaper and easier to get. Especially because ether gas, by the way, is not hard at all to obtain. I mean, we have 395 buckets. We only set that up a few episodes ago, and it's kind of just been idling, right? That's just been constantly going, and it's going to fill up the storage cell that we actually set for it, which is this one. And once it fills up, it's just going to keep going, of course, because we have the overflow card. But yeah, this is definitely something I would think it would just be helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.